to pick something. There is video inside that building. Alright?
Location,
Sorting-20-20. And he did walk outside the building.
Hello?
We haven't recognized him in each video. We do see some video.
Now 420251211 12023. Please press the Now that's it for another video. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, please press the like button. That's it. If you haven't subscribed, if you've enjoyed what you've seen here, please press the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I hope to talk to you again. All reason. I don't know why we have to type it.
Because if you get docs function, this is the match that lets the sandbox app talk to your system and run commands. Again, you need not use as soon as we configure the external terminal settings and we can select our preferred language models like Olama. Make sure console access is enabled in this prompt section. We are all set. Now let's take a look at the terminal command execution because it's a major feature of Newell. And this is what turns Newell into a full-blown assistant. Basically, it gives AI the power to understand your natural language.
3032, please. You're opening her up to massive animals. Control center.
10-4.
634 solo.
Were quite joyed when we canceled Inner Harbor the first time, and yet the large
we can find here
environmental previous major saw was that, but we do need to quantify it to my assumption. We need quantitative analysis.
Here we are back again, and already I can see things on speak correct, although they won't.
One set sun, third set press.
1023, 48, 33. Charles,
Route 7, radio check. Anything else? Complete. William Robert 09231. 13 Carol.
Just click the link in the description or go to buyeraycon.com/conversation open to save up to 20% off during this holiday season. Order by December 15th to guarantee delivery by Christmas. Because great gifts like these earbuds sure shall not wait. That's buyeraycon.com/code-open. The links are below in the description too. Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Now back to the story. At the same time, without fixing the basics, the company began pushing AI into every part of its services.
213 traffic. Unit 4 to base.
213.
25 blocking. 2500 blocking.
At the time, I didn't know how much this I didn't.
I installed to them on the computer. So I'll just log in, and here we are back on my desktop with a welcome wizard And there's various things that can be done here, some of which I'll return to later in the video, but the critical one is that if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, and obviously there is an NVIDIA graphics card, we need to launch the driver manager to install the right drivers for the NVIDIA graphics card. A while back on the desktop with a welcome video, and there's various things done here, some of which I'll return to later in the video, but the critical one is that if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, and obviously
Location, Sultan Dash 28.
we need to launch the driver manager to install the right driver. The top it says open once again, please write in. And the first time you do this, you'll get a message asking you to install Windows App, which for me didn't work. So I actually went back to the software store and did a manual install of Windows App support, and therefore now hoping when I click here, it will install Adobe Audition. Do we want to run setup exe? Yes, we do. Let's see what happens. Very exciting. Wine has come up, so hopefully at the top it says open with install Windows application. And the first time you do this, you'll get a message asking you to install Windows App Support, which for me didn't work. So I actually went back to the software store and did a manual install of Windows App Support, and therefore now hoping that I click here, it will install Adobe Audition. Do we want to run setup exe? Yes, we do. Let's see what happens.
Does the object in this photo look familiar to you? Possibly takes you back to college physics class. Dr. John Shai, the host of this next film, invented it at Bell Labs in 1950. It's called Shai Wave Generators. Shai
As we look at Kubuntu in the context of modern computing, Bitcoin continues to gain popularity. People want to operate
like that, and like that. Lo and behold, we should find, yes, our USB drive is now once again available in
Millions of foreign tourists are going to have to hand over a lot more than their passport if a new customs and
VirtualBox is a hypervisor that I use almost every day. However, there are alternatives, and the first one I want to briefly mention is VMware Workstation Pro. Like that, and like that. But lo and behold, we still find, yes, our USB drive is now once again available in VirtualBox, yes, hypervisor I use almost available and has been. However, there are alternatives, and the first one I want to briefly mention is VMware Workstation Pro. VirtualBox is a hypervisor that I use almost. However, there are alternatives, and the first one I want to briefly mention is
corpus on your shoreline, they expose the cable line, nothing to it, yeah.
Not as the x86 J415, so let's insert the flash drive and boot it.
Or do you happen to have the activity number for the one that you just finished?
And to do this on your computer, you may need to enable USB booting, as I explained in my PC BIOS settings.
826-319-641.
At 9947. Can you build a call for CCPD for a green tag income?
Location?
A black four-door Jaguar.
28.
The license plate is North of Charles 772.
has grid view, it has list view, it has a few options to sort, zoom, whatever. The settings are extremely basic, and then you do have file sort built in as well, and a bunch of menus, which is how Cosmic has the menu. That basically in a sort of header bar in there, right? Like the it doesn't have many options, at least have tabs and viewing options, and a few settings in there.
Call President 11, that's 11 for residential fire alarm. 3333 South Alameda. Enter other team 653, apartment 54, DSC 7006.
You also have a very basic text editor. It doesn't do much. It does have some management features. I think most people will just use another text editor if they need to edit files in a Git repo. It's a very simple one. It has a lot of letting
On Holly and Carol, non-gas related issues.
If you have a preferred app, you can install it through FlatHub. You also have a very basic text editor. It doesn't do much. It does have some Git management features if you need that, but I think most people will just use another text editor if they need to edit files in a Git repo. It's a very simple one, but it has the merit of existing and letting you edit a few files on the fly and install something on top. Now you do have the Cosmic App Store, which is a
relocating.
This is what they wear up there. Flying the fighter jets.
Too much. It does have some Git management features.
I have worked with
Carlton. Reporting party is Crystal. Contact 361-910-1993. 361-910-1993. It's going to be reference a dog. No description was dating that was eating and attacking chickens. Belonged to a neighbor.
Someone dispatch for a radio check.
Loud and clear.
10-4, 79 clear.
Just drove off that the units are right behind him.
Nine Tarleton.
Yeah, Carlton, Charles, Adam, Robert, Lincoln, Tom, Orson, Nora. Yeah, it looks like the RP was looking to stay anonymous.
10-4, I'll get a call for service placed. PD is not needed.
2-4.
2637 432637.
You should be around back to the facility. Leave the call open, please, and I'm going to need a kennel set up for my very large injured German Shepherd. 10-4.
You see another one at dispatch?
We're not involved in the war other than the fact that we are involved in...
DSC 7007, Second 4117, Kalahar. 111 Guadalajara Road, please marry first.
5901 Weber, I have results when you're ready.
I took what they're spending as a percentage of GDP, but it was at 2 and they weren't paying, and now
It's going to be 1 unable to make contact, 1 make contact, 1 educate, and 1 NOV, then 1076 to 48 Vestal.
632, 10-4.
10-4.
Oh, wine's installed now. Let's go to wine and hopefully Adobe Audition. Let's see if we can run it from there. Oh, I'm crossing my fingers. And yes, this looks extremely promising. Yes, we have Adobe Audition running here in Zorin OS. And I won't press the spacebar and play this because I might get a copyright strike by Adobe for the music, but we've proved a principle. We can install at least some Windows applications. The system will now and once again running clearly video test installed on S, which proves the principle of installing Linux applications from the software store.
Bluetooth shield active.
What about Windows
Monitoring for blue ball and
which are only available and Zorin OS 16 is available as any Linux distro to FTP X. And to prove it, let's first of all open up the file manager. In WinApps here, so I'll just log in and give it all back with welcome wizard. And there's various things that can be done here, some of which I'll return to later in the video, but the critical
256Q23.
10-4.
And